We have finally returned to some playoff basketball, some much anticipated playoff basketball, as the Vancouver Woodsmen, as the 3 seed, will face the 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves in our round 1 series. Before we start the game though, I wanted to change a couple of things, because just based on what I've seen recently, I think that we could benefit from having Wagner take some more shots and just be more involved on the offensive end, because to be honest, while watching, he and Keldon Johnson aren't really taking that many shots, and the team is, as most teams, at their best when our best players are getting involved. Now, I do love Anderson, as we all do, but we can't just be forcing him the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the touches for both Keldon Johnson and Franz Wagner, because those two guys are good offensive players, and they're probably our second best behind Anderson. They're probably our 2 best behind him. So why not increase their touches? So let's go to tendency view, and we're going to up Franz's to probably the high 80s. And yeah, I'll do this. That's shot tendency. Let's do touches. Up that a little bit. We'll up his shot tendency a little bit too. And then same for Keldon Johnson. Just to get those guys the ball more. And I think that could be beneficial to the team. So, yeah, there we go. We'll make that change. And I think I'm going to stick with our current game plan as is. Except we'll have to, specifically do what we did against the Timberwolves last time, which was to put Hollins on Walker Kessler to start off, and if we got to change that at some point, then we will. But they do present a pretty big mismatch for us with Hollins as a starter, because he's only 6'3", and their lowest guy is 6'6". So we're going to put Franz on Ben Simmons. And then Christian Wood is not starting. It's Kessler starting. And they do also have Kristaps. And we're going to have Payne guard him. He did a great job last time. So we'll see if he can keep that up. As for Julio Haywood, hasn't really scored that much this year. So let's put Anderson on him. And then we'll have Keldon Johnson guard Jaylen Brown. And we'll go from there. And by the way, Don Payne has fully recovered from his injuries, so he is going to be good to go. We can leave it as is. And same lineups as the last time we faced them. So let's see if we can take them down again, because last time we faced them, we did beat them. So going to look for the same thing here in a 3 versus 6 seed matchup. Game 1 of round 1 in Vancouver. Here we go. It is playoff time here in Vancouver, British Columbia, as Don Payne wins the tip. Let's see how game 1 goes here to start things off in the episode. Going to be a cutter play for Anderson. Hollins gets to him a little bit late. He'll go up against Jaylen Brown. Missed the shot. Got his own board. Finds Keldon Johnson for an open 3. He missed it. Anderson can't get the ball, but it's tipped out of bounds by Jaylen Brown. So we will keep possession. Johnson inbounds to Franz. Payne sets the screen. Franz gets down low and is going to draw the foul on Kessler. That's his first.
Personal foul. First team foul.
First free throw, up and good for Franz. And he did drop down to 22.4 points per game on the season. Once we changed to the neutral offensive focus, it really seemed like Anderson got more looks than he did. And they kind of swapped positions on our team in terms of scoring. One guy was around 26 points per game post All-Star break. That was Anderson. And before that, he was at like 22. And Wagner was at like 25 pre-All-Star game and is down to 22 post All-Star game. So you can see the differences there in terms of how we've changed our team makeup, as that shot won't drop for Haywood. And Vancouver has it up 2-0. Hollins for 3. Got it! 5-0. They're going to feed Kessler down low, trying to take advantage of the mismatch, and they do put it to good use right there. So, again, if that becomes a bigger issue as the game goes on, then we will make a change, obviously. Hollins to Anderson. Not going to fire. Covered well by Brown. Back out to Hollins. Open three again. That one's off. Anderson gets his second offensive board. Back out to Hollins. Third try. That one's off too. Simmons cuts and gets the feed from Brown. He had Hollins on him, so once again, attacking that mismatch. Anderson to Keldon Johnson for a deep three. He's 0 for 2 from deep. Brown throws it right to Hollins, trying to go to Ben Simmons once again, but this time he steps in front. Payne, what is that shot? But he knocks it down! Hell yeah! We take that all day. Jaylen Brown gets down low, kicks it back out to Kristaps. Had an open shot, but couldn't knock it down from beyond the arc. On the other end, Anderson attacks. Hands off to Keldon Johnson. The bucket plus the foul. That goes against Haywood, his first. Vancouver already got 10 points here to start off the first quarter. Love seeing the offense clicking for the most part, although a couple of missed shots from downtown. Johnson knocks it through. Vancouver up by 7 in the early goings of this one. Here Simmons, don't got to worry about him pulling the trigger unless he gets down low. Why'd he pass out of that? I'm not sure, but pretty much a guaranteed bucket either way, regardless of who that ball goes to. Keldon Johnson spots up from deep and misses once again. Screen from Kristaps. Jaylen Brown takes it. Attacks baseline and missed the shot. Payne gets the board. Solid defense there by Anderson and just to stay in front of him the whole way. Got a hand up in there too. Franz feeds Payne. He goes to Anderson. Open three. He can't knock it down. What's going on with us from downtown? Simmons attacks the basket. Got by Payne. He's too quick for him. Franz. Long two. That one's off the mark. Jump shots not really going for us right now. Brown attacks. Throws it right to Wagner. Trying to go over the top to Kristaps, but he was right there instead. On the other end, Franz backing down Haywood and firing, but it wasn't a good shot. And Simmons steps out of bounds on the other end. Just a lame hesitation move, and we take over and call timeout. 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Anderson taking the screen, going back to Payne, pump fakes. Then going up against Kessler, he's blocked. All of a sudden, this Wolves defense has stepped up this last 3 minutes or so. Brown gets the feed from Kristaps, steps back on the 5-foot jumper. Can we end the Minnesota run? Payne over 2 defenders, missed again. Jesus Christ. Right when I was giving our team props for scoring well early on, we have not scored since then, of course. Brown fading away. That one hits back iron. We jump all the way to the 6:33 mark here in the second quarter as Vancouver leads now 45-35. We've got DeSumo out there with Keldon Johnson, Anderson, Payne, and Hollins. We'll see if we can keep this up. Hollins for 3. A bit off to the right. But once again, really not being accurate from beyond the arc, which is usually where we're best at. We'll see if that'll change moving forward. Kessler over Johnson down low. Got it to go. Anderson pulls the trigger from deep. That one rattles out. Keldon Johnson can't hang on to the board. He had it for 3 seconds and then just lost the ball. On the other end, Jaylen Brown against DeSumo. Double team coming. They pass out of it. Kristaps for 3. That one's off. Neither team has been good from beyond the arc. Keldon Johnson is fouled by Kristaps. That's his third. Free throw good from Keldon Johnson. And he knocks down both. We bring in Zubats as Troy Brown Off the screen, finds a wide open Jaylen Brown in the corner. Hollins feeds Zubac. He fades away. Why is that the shot that Zubac, out of all people, is taking? Under 5 to go here in the first half. Hoover's still in front, but I mean, have we looked good? Like, not really. The lob up to Brown. How? Keldon Johnson. Nice pass to Zubac. And Simmons attacks the paint and draws the foul on Zubac. Free throws coming up. We've got 9. They are 3 for 5 with the charity stripe. As he knocks down the first one, and he goes 2 for 2. Wellington checks in and pulls the trigger immediately, but he can't knock it down either. When was our last 3-point that actually went in? Was it the very first one we took with Hollins? Jaylen Brown is fouled, because what else would it be besides a foul? Free throw up and good. The second one cuts the game to 3. Anderson at the elbow knocks it down. Jaylen Brown trying to work on Wellington with the size mismatch. Takes him inside, and now a bucket plus a foul. What is going on? The free throw is up and it's good. Jaylen Brown having a great first half, keeping Minnesota within just a couple of points now. Zubac has it poked out by Ben Simmons. Fast break. The game is tied. Screen coming. Wagner takes it. Gets down low, steps back, and hits the shot. Thorpe hands off to Simmons. Screen coming from Kessler. Please guard this well. They go to Wallace, so now Brown instead. Time's counting down. He has to fire, and he missed it. Good stop right there. Now let's take advantage and get up by more than a score here. Wagner off the feet from Dosunmu. Skies the 3. Can we hit a shot? Zubac with the board. Great work on the offensive glass. Brown gets the feed. He's wide open. Wagner trying to find a passing lane for somebody. It's Dosunmu, top of the key. He can't knock down the 3. I have to check this. I'm so sorry, but holy cow. 8 for 21. We must have just watched every single miss from 3 possible. We have seen 1 make, and we've seen like at least 10 misses. And they've shot 64% in total, and we're still somehow winning. Back to the game, and Simmons immediately gets a foul call. My God, we're falling apart here. Free throw is good. He's got 1 more to tie it up again. And he does, because he's Ben Simmons in 2K and not Ben Simmons in real life, right? Time counting down for the Woodsmen. Keldon Johnson has to do something. He just fires in somebody's face. Jukic gets wide open. He scores. Wagner trying for 3 again. Offline. I'm just expecting it at this point. And Jukic gets the board. They're chasing it down. Minnesota up by 2. They have the last shot of the first half. We have completely just collapsed here in the second. They feed Simmons down low. Double team comes back out to Jukic for a deep 3. He missed it. And the first half is over. Minnesota finished the half on a 22-10 run. Just about half of the third quarter gone as we jump in, leading by 5, 68-63. Are we going to have good offense or bad offense here? It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Anderson wide open for 3. Off the mark. Once again, the last 3 we saw this team make was the first 3 we took in this game. It was Will Hollins. We have not seen us make one since then. Simmons fading away. That should just never go in. 18 points for Simmons. Brown's got like 25 or 30 at this point, I'm sure. Keldon Johnson finds a Sumu at the rim. There's 2. And I forgot that Don Payne actually hit a 3 after Hollins did, so we have seen 2 threes go in. But none since then. Christian Wood against Keldon Johnson down low. Once again, their size off the bench also presents a couple of problems for us. If they bring in a bunch of tall guys, they got Simmons, Kristaps, and Wood out there. Don Payne against Kristaps, missed it. Wood gets the board. Screen for Simmons. Got the switch, goes back to Kristaps, covered well, but does not matter against this team apparently. Payne has it to Anderson for 3. Finally, a shot from downtown falls. You could see the excitement there from Keldon Johnson because, my God, have I been waiting for that since the first quarter. Time counting down for Minnesota. Can we get the stop? Hollins saved it, and we will. Fantastic. Hollins off the screen. Gets down low. Missed the floater. Please. Thorpe at the elbow fires. That one's off. Zubac gets the board, thankfully. Can we put a run together to extend our lead? The cutting play for Keldon Johnson. Hollins goes to him. Just got by Thorpe. Screen from Simmons. Or from Wood, rather, for Simmons. He gets down low and fires. He missed the jumper, as he should. 6-point game. Under 3 to go in the third quarter. Sumu, who are you handing off to? We hang on to the ball. Hollins from deep. Offline. It's a hard-fought, gritty game so far. Jukic goes out to Troy Brown. That one's way too high. Screen from Zubac. Keldon Johnson, the mid-range jumper. Missed it. Double screen for Jukic. She takes it. Gets down low and is fouled by Hollins, his 4th. First free throw up and good. And Jukic knocks down both. It's back to 4. Zubac spins. Once again, not sure why he's taking that kind of a shot, but we're lucky it went this time. But please never again. Screen. Simmons takes it. It's covered well by Franz. He'll still fire. And he missed it. That's what I'm talking about. Keep that up. Sumu crosses the courts. Wellington goes to Zubac. He finds the Sumu. He'll fire. He missed it. Jukic gets down low around Wellington for 3 points. Franz. What is that? What are you doing? Maybe I gotta lower his touches back to what they were. Because my God, 2-point game. We just can't pull away. We are letting them stay around. Just incomprehensible how we just can't knock down threes. All right, though. Last shot here in the third quarter. Can we do something here? Anderson takes the screen. Fires. It's off the mark. We head to the 4th for the 2-point game, but we're going to jump ahead to it with about 6 minutes to go and see where it's at there. Just under 6.5 to play in regulation. It's still a 2-point game, 86-84. Anybody can win this one. Keldon Johnson draws the foul on Haywood to start things off for us here. His free throws could be crucial. First one up and good. Second one, also up and good. Jaylen Brown spins. Gets to the rim and is going to draw the foul against Keldon Johnson. He's drawn like 4 fouls already this game. 26 points on the night, adding to it here. His free throws are both good. Bronze rips a pass to Anderson. There we go. Brown, ISO against Keldon Johnson. I'm waiting for a chance for us to get a stop and not foul him. Next free throw up and good. I'm pretty sure these are just essentially guaranteed. He goes 2 for 2. Screen from Payne. Wagner fires and knocks it down. Just barely keeping ourselves in front. Brown. Blocked by Payne. Great help defense. He saw it the whole way. Hollins finds a lane. Attacks. Got the bucket and the foul. There it is, Jaylen Brown. Now you know exactly how it feels. How are you mad about this? How are you upset? You just drew like 8 fouls in a row. You need to chill. The free throw is good. Vancouver up by 7, and rightfully so. They're going to do it again. ISO against Johnson. We got the stop. That's what it's all about. Payne hands off to Anderson. He hands off to Keldon Johnson. Some weave action going on up here top of the key. We go to Hollins. Wide open 3, but he airs it out. Wagner somehow got the offensive board. Payne scores and got the foul against Christian Wood this time. Yes. Thank you. Guys are stepping up in the best moment. 10-point game. 4 minutes to play. Jaylen Brown for 3 off the screen. Got it. Ben Simmons just picked up a personal foul after running into Payne on an off-ball screen. So free throws for Payne. Just a boneheaded mistake. And he hits both. 9-point game. Kristaps attacks, and he draws the foul on Payne on the other end. So both teams have been in the bonus for the last couple of minutes. So it's going to be free throws the rest of the way, at least until overtime if there is overtime. But nobody right now is missing these free throws. Not sure how to fix that because when was the last time a CPU player missed a free throw against us? It's been quite a while. We haven't missed many either recently. Hollins to Johnson. Taking the screen. At the elbow. Has to fire. Got it. He has made some really impressive plays for the most part throughout this entire game. There's some pretty huge plays, whether it's drawing fouls or getting stops. He's got to get one here too, as Brown just loves to go ISO against him, trying to draw some more fouls. But he hands off to Haywood instead. Kristaps comes over. Haywood fades away and bricked it. Bronze off the screen, goes right into a shot as Christian Wood bear hugs him. That's not even a shooting foul. That's got to be a flagrant. Not even going for the ball, just legit just trying to stop him from shooting. First free throw good. Second one's good too. Brown on the baseline. Goes out to Haywood. Time counting down for Minnesota. Kristaps pulls the trigger. Missed that one, but Kessler's on the board there with the offensive putback. Vancouver just needs a few more buckets to put this game away. And Anderson will give one to us right here, and it's a big one. The crowd is on their feet. 6 more three-pointers for us now than Minnesota. That's to be expected. Jaylen Brown takes Johnson down low and missed it. What did I say about Mr. Keldon Johnson? Despite being tired out there, he has put in work here in the fourth quarter especially. Anderson dribbles around, takes the screen from Payne, fires, no, goes back to him, and he gets blocked by Kristaps. Took a second too long to gather himself. Under 90 seconds left. Brown, the step back 3, back iron. Payne missed the rebound, but Keldon Johnson gets to it. Hollins hands off to Julio Haywood. Trying to get it to Anderson, but Haywood was literally sandwiched right between them. Brown, wide open 3. That one drops. back to a 9-point game with 1:03 left. Wagner rifles a pass to Anderson. That might be it. Our two star players link up for the dagger. Vancouver will take game 1 of this series. 111-100 is your final score. We rebound from some poor shooting to start off the game in the first couple of quarters, and we make things happen here in the fourth. The good work by this team to overcome some adversity, and I'm expecting a better performance in games 2 and 3 because we're about to dive into those here too. Anderson drops 26, 4 and 4 in the game, 11 for 22 from the field, only 2 for 9 from 3. As a team, we shot 11 for 38 from downtown, which was good for just 29%. Thankfully, they were even worse than we were, 6 for 23. So I guess you take the positives where you can, but I would not expect them to shoot worse from 3 next game, so I'm going to expect better from us too. Franz Wagner, 24, 7 and 5, 3 steals. Don Payne, 16 points, 9 boards, 3 steals, 2 blocks. Keldon Johnson, 13 points, 11 boards, 6 assists. Thought he was maybe our best player behind Anderson, but even still, I thought he maybe, was the best player in the fourth quarter. Will Hollins, 12, 4 and 7, 3 steals. Wellington, 8 points. Zubats, 8 points. Both of those guys shot well off the bench. Sumu, not really a whole lot there, but definitely not bad. The Timberwolves, by the way, got 38 from Jaylen Brown, and then 18 points from Ben Simmons. Kristaps held to just 10 and 10. I love seeing that. Kessler only 6 boards with Hollins guarding him for most of the game, so you take that too. Haywood only 5 points. That's a positive. We head to game 2 where both lineups stay the exact same. We're going to simcast the first 3 quarters, and then if it's close in the fourth quarter, we're going to jump in and watch the rest of it. The Woodsmen, though, get off to a good start here in the first quarter as we lead after 131-24. Second quarter, more of a back and forth as the Wolves trying to make some headway into our lead, which they will. By the end of the first half, we are still hanging on to a lead. And we actually scored 71 first half points. So the offense is playing a lot better here in game 2 than in game 1. We're up by about 20 points now. Head to the fourth with 21-point lead. And it's looking like we're going to get the game done here. So we are going to take game 2. Wow, look at that score. Guys, we had a great performance. Anderson had 38, 13 for 19, and 7 for 10 from downtown. Keldon Johnson, 28 points, 10 for 15. Will Hollins, 26 and 13. He shot extremely well. Franz Wagner, 22 and 8, 7 for 15. Why can we not have played like this in game 1? I would have loved to watch this. The Wolves got 21 from Kristaps, 17 for Jukic, 15 for Haywood. I mean, they had some fairly balanced scoring, but their defense really was awful. We were 20 for 38 from downtown in this one, as I expected. Well, not expected, but I just wanted us to play better here in game 2 from downtown, and they shot better as well, just not as well as we did. We had 41 free throws in regulation. My God, that's got to be a season high for us. So now we head to game 3 on the road in Minnesota at the Target Center. Fans on their feet for tip-off as Payne wins it here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Vancouver trying to increase the series lead to 3-0. And if we do so, the series might be wraps. Payne starts the game off with a brick from way downtown. They feed Ben Simmons. A double team comes immediately. Kristaps wide open 3. Missed it. Hollins. Long 2. Can't knock it down. Simmons back to Kessler. He'll pull the trigger from deep, and he knocks it down. We got a stretch 5 out there. Hollins to Anderson. Not going to pull the trigger here. He finds Hollins. Wide open three. That one's off too, but Keldon Johnston's there on the glass for our first bucket. Simmons fires. How? Genuinely, how? Where is the foul, and how does that go in? I cannot be complaining this early on. I can't. It's not good for you or for me. The free throw is good. Hollins with it. Out to Franz for three. Open. That one's off too. Kristaps hands off to Simmons. He has to attack. And of course, Simmons once again draws a foul and scores. Hollins already has 2 fouls because I am supposed to be on Simmons, and he quickly has 6 points. Keldon Johnson cuts. Anderson finds him. He's got all 4 for us. Simmons to Kristaps. He takes the screen. Fading away. Oh my God. Anderson trying to answer back. He can't do so. Simmons double teamed, and yet it does not matter. Keldon Johnson, open three, hits it. He's doing all he can to keep us from getting blown out here in the first quarter. He's got 7. Minnesota has 14. Somebody else help our boy out here, and also get a couple stops too. Kessler almost lost it, but that's way too easy. They fed the mismatch. Hollins to Anderson. He feeds Payne down low against Kessler. That's a tough one. Double screen for Jaylen Brown. Open shots, but he missed it. Hollins hands off to Anderson. He steps back. Screen from Payne coming over. Anderson fires and knocks it down for his first points. Kessler against Hollins again. Scores again. We'll see if this becomes an actual problem or not here in a moment. Anderson to Keldon Johnson. Wide open three. Back iron. Kristaps attacks Franz. Bucket plus the foul. They are off to an amazingly red-hot start. His free throw is up and good. They are on track to score 42 points here in the first quarter. And I'm going to make a quick change real quick on defense. I am going to put Hollins on Haywood instead of Kessler, because clearly what we're seeing is not working right now, so gotta find somebody else to guard a couple of players. Screen from Payne. Anderson takes it and is fouled. Inbound passes, once again, are gonna be the death of me. What was that? What is the AI going on here? I'm sorry to complain so much in this series, but for God's sake, how does that go in? I have so many questions. It's 23-9. If they can do it, why can't we? Payne, double teamed. Now by himself. Time counting down. Anderson has to fire. And it's going to be a jump ball between Franz and Kristaps. Who's going to win it? I'm assuming it's going to be Kristaps. Yep. We're going to simcast a bit here and see if anything changes. It's not looking too good so far. He lost the first quarter 39-22, and they're blowing us out here in the second too. Let's watch the rest of the first half, and then if nothing changes, like, this game might be over by halftime. It's 55-28. We have come back from deficits like this before, but we have just below 7 minutes to make an impact. And if we don't, I'm not sure we get this done in 2 quarters. because we have looked awful so far on both ends. As we are called for a reach and foul immediately, and Dosunmu checks in. Screen from Kessler. Haywood attacks and missed the shot. Got the board. Kristaps wide open. Jesus. Keldon Johnson takes the screen. Back to Payne. He's fouled by Kessler. That's his second. First free throw. Up and good. And we have finally scored our 30th point. Ben Simmons has a mismatch against Holland, but he passed out of it. Jukic instead gets down low and lays that one in, essentially uncontested. They've shot 72%. We have shot less than 40. Collins gets down low, fires amongst the trees. It's blocked. They feed Kessler against Payne. He hands off to Jaylen Brown, but we have not seen much of. Wood for three. Missed it. And Dosunmu somehow gets the offensive board. Up ahead to Anderson. He steps back and fires. And missed it. Brown on the other end. Got it. We are getting run out of the gym. Screen for Anderson. Takes it. Fades away. Tough shot. Missed it. Payne's there on the board for what feels like our first bucket of the game. Jukic, a deep one. Missed it. Anderson to Keldon Johnson. And he turns the ball over, throwing it right to Jaylen Brown. Simmons has a lane, attacks against Dosunmu. 16 points here in the first half for Simmons. Anderson for three. Back iron. Every play just hurts more, I gotta be honest. Jukic. Got it. Are we a pro basketball team? Anderson against Jukic, takes him down low, fires, and knocks it down, but they have outscored us since we jumped in. Wallace attacks the rim, he missed the shot. If we don't score on this possession, I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to give up on this game. And just, that's going to be it for this one. Zubac scores though, so not going to give up just yet. Screen from Wood. Jukic steps back, then attacks. That was honestly a great move. Play for Anderson down the middle. We find him. There's two more, but once again, we are not keeping pace. Jukic in the paint now. Gets back his own deflection. How does he score that and get the foul over Zubac? Like, first he makes a bad pass attempt. It's deflected right back to him. And he immediately scores on Zubac and also got fouled. It is 72-38. You guys have no idea how much that hurts to say it, because we have not seen us get blown out like this in a long, long time. Keldon scores there. We're finally putting together a couple of runs in a row, but I mean, our entire team is going to have minus 32 plus minus. That's not a stat that anybody should ever be reading off. Wagner, though, gets the steal off of Wallace, trying to go to Thorpe. Johnson, nice pass to Dosunmu. He scores. That cuts the game to 30. Jukic spinning, but now getting past Dosunmu. This guy's putting together all the moves. He missed the shot, thankfully. It was going to happen at some point for Minnesota. On the other end, Franz taking Thorpe down low and scoring on him. Where was this in the first quarter, or like earlier in the game at all, before we were down by 30 points? Come on. Sumu has it. He will not make a pass for God knows whatever reason. 44-72 at the break. Before we start simcasting this third quarter, here is the game breakdown. We are getting beat in every single category except for 3 of them. I have never seen us play this bad before. We have shot 44%, have 44 points, and we are 3 for 17 from 3, 18%. They've shot 67% so far. They are 8 for 14 from downtown. They have more free throws. They got more fast break points, points in the paint, second chance points, bench points, assists. We somehow have more offensive rebounds, but I guess it's because we have missed so many more shots than they have. They have 8 more defensive boards. We have 1 more steal. They have 1 more block. We have more turnovers than they do. They have 8 points off of those turnovers. We have more fouls. We have 1 more dunk. And we have never led at all in this game. So let's simcast and see if anything changes here in the third quarter. If it does, then we'll jump in and watch the fourth. But I don't want to waste our time if we're going to just watch a blowout happen. We head to the fourth, and it looks like nothing is changing here. Still about a 20-25 point game. And there's no time for us to make a comeback here. It's over. That was shocking, to say the least. Simmons drops 22, 9 and 9 after, a great first half. Not much there in the second. When I start to simcast, obviously. Not sure what the deal is there, but Jaylen Brown, 19 points. Jokic, 19. Kessler and Wood had double-doubles. Kristaps had 16. Haywood, just 2 for 11. I mean, I'm surprised anybody on their team had a bad game. But the Woodsmen got 22 for Anderson, 20 from Keldon Johnson, 19 for Wagner. I must have missed all of this. That must have been all in the second half or something for literally all 3 of those guys. Hollins had 15, Payne 14 and 11. Zubath was actually, pretty solid off the bench, I thought. Wellington, though, 1 for 8. Sumu only took 2 shots in 23 minutes. And we end up shooting 45%. They shot so much worse in the second half. And it just did not matter. They still won by 20. So that's cool. That is disappointing. Especially after how weird game 1 was. So Vancouver leads the series 2-1. And I'm not sure if we have capabilities of winning a road game in Minnesota based off of that performance, because my God, I cannot stress enough how horrible that was. But at least we won the first 2 games, and so we have a little bit of insurance there, but I really don't want to lose 2 games in a row on the road, especially when it would tie the series up at 2 games apiece. So hopefully next episode things are different. But let me know your ideas in the comment section below on things to change up, because I feel like based off of what we have watched so far, we have not played that well. We simmed 1 game and we played well, but from watching, I mean, we look completely different and lost on offense. So that is definitely a thing to think about. But yeah, that's how we're going to wrap up the episode. Kind of a weird one, so sorry about that. Took a few days off, so trying to get back in the swing of things. But that's about it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. And until part 2 of this first round series, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.